Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, YouTube? Sorry I'm late. Glad to see all of you guys here already. That's kind of cool. I just upgraded the live stream thing. I finally got a long Ethernet cord. So hopefully today the buffering issue is completely fixed, because if the buffering issue is not fixed by the end of this stream, then I think we're gonna have a problem, because it's no longer a Wi-Fi issue. I got like a 50-foot Ethernet cable that runs all the way from my downstairs up and around my couch and around the TV and upstairs and goes all the way up to my computer. So hopefully we can experience a stream with no lag issues whatsoever. That would be the dream if it's possible. But it's good to see you guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our live streams. If this is your first time hanging out with us, we do streams more or less every single day at 5 p.m. We talk about different things on faith. We do questions and answers, things of that nature. We have a pretty cool community of people. If you have questions, if you need prayer requests, we got a whole group of people here that are willing to help and to serve. And so it's pretty awesome. So here's what I wanted to start off today's video in saying. I see all the comments coming in, and I'll acknowledge those in just a second. Hello, everyone. Glad you're here with me live. As many of you guys know, yesterday we posted a brand new video. Let me see if I can actually even pull up what this video looked like. And you'll understand fairly quickly what the idea was all about. Actually, you know what? There's no way for me to pull up the thumbnail. I can just open up the thumbnail. That will work. So, as you know, yesterday I put out this video. Show of hands, how many of you guys have watched this video so far? It was a video on Halloween, talking about how Halloween has pagan origins. And yet, like, so what? Who cares? Like, what's the big deal about it all? Now, I understand that this is a controversial video. It's a sensitive issue. People have very strong opinions about very minute things, like Halloween. Like, honestly, how much time do you spend in a given year thinking about it? But people have mixed responses to that, and I'm totally fine with that. As you guys know, one of the things that I really tried to stand for was, or is rather, this idea of having compassionate conversations with people who might believe differently. And that's definitely something that I still stand for. Still definitely something that I believe is a value that we as Christians should seek out. And I understand that when I make a video on this subject, that people are going to respond to it differently. And that's totally fine. I understand that when I say, you know, listen, just because it had pagan origins, it doesn't really matter unless you're totally going into it with pagan intentions and you are specifically doing some of the pagan things with it. But if it's an innocent day of eating candy and hanging out with family and friends and all those different kinds of things, then it's really not that big of a deal. IMO, in my opinion. That's kind of my perspective on it all. And as you can imagine, a lot of people responded very well. They understood the intention and the heart and the message behind this video, which I'm very, very, very grateful for, because not everyone always gets it. And usually the kinds of people that pay attention but don't get it, or maybe don't even really pay attention, they watch the video loosely, or maybe they just come to the video to comment without having watched, those are usually the most frustrating kinds of comments to get. Those are the kind of ignorant comments where people just came to preach without listening and without being part of the conversations. Those ones I don't really care for too much. But there are really, really healthy comments and types of people who come to the channel, to this specific video that I posted recently again. And rather than like being ignorant, they listen to the video. And these are actually, I really enjoy these kinds of conversations. They listen to the video and they respectfully disagree. I've gotten a handful of those comments lately. And I'm not discouraged by it in the least bit. I'm actually really stoked when I hear that. I'm really stoked when people disagree because it means we can actually have a dialogue. It means that we can actually have a conversation. I think the ability to agree to disagree is something that Christians have largely lost. And so I just want to say at the beginning, kudos to you guys. I know that several of you guys in the chat have disagreed with me on this video or previous videos, and I appreciate that very much. I appreciate you challenging my thoughts. I appreciate you challenging my logic and my outcomes, and doing so in a compassionate way. Like, that means a lot. That's kind of what the whole purpose of this channel, at least one of the major purposes, is to inspire the community of faith to have compassionate conversations on the things that matter. Let me get rid of this gum so I'm not chewing while I'm chatting. And so I'm very grateful for this community. I think it's awesome. You know, in most parts of the internet, you have really toxic and angry and really like judgmental people. And I feel like we've done a really good job in this community of being very, very open-minded, standing for something that we believe in, yes, but still open-minded in how we treat other people who believe differently. And I think that that's awesome. So, yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you very much for being a part of this community. A few thoughts on this, because the reality is not everyone always agrees with us all the time. The title of this stream is what it's like releasing a video that people disagree with. Part of the dialogue that I have to go through every time I get a comment, every time I get one of those comments in which someone disagrees with me, there's a temptation to say, oh, they're idiots, or who cares what they think, and to kind of like double down and solidify what I presently believe. There's that temptation to do that. But I try hard to not do that. Every time someone disagrees with me, or maybe not every time, maybe that's a little too gracious to myself, I want to say as much as is possible when someone disagrees with me on a video like this one, or any other video that I make for that matter, I really try to give them the benefit of the doubt. I attempt to listen to what they're saying and to listen with the intent of understanding where they're coming from. And I appreciate those who have kind of dissented from what I've been, what this video was about and what I've been saying and things like that, because it actually challenges my thinking, and I think it makes me a better and more informed human being and a better and more informed Christian. So if there's anything that you can learn from that, and if there's anything that I guess I would want to say as kind of like a teachable moment in this situation, is when people disagree with you, when people challenge your thinking, resist the temptation to write them off. This doesn't mean that you always accept what other people say, because of course not. I don't think that that would be healthy in the least bit. But what it means is you attempt to learn something from everyone, even the people that are rude to you, even the people that call you names, and even the people who disagree with you. Because by doing that, you become the better version of yourself by listening to those who disagree with you and weighing those thoughts. It sharpens your thinking. Have I learned some things from what people have been challenging me on? Yes, I have. And I think that's good. And I appreciate that when I put out a piece of content, you guys understand that it is a conversation starter. It's not the end all be all of everything that I ever could believe on the subject. Of course, how could you do that in 7 minutes? It's not that, oh, I've studied everything out perfectly and I am impervious to being wrong. Of course not. It's simply a conversation starter. And I'm so grateful for those of you who join in the conversation, because we get to learn together. And I think that's awesome. And if we can have this attitude when it comes to different things, when it comes to everything spiritual in our life, where we can learn together and we don't have to have this sense like I have to have everything perfect whenever I talk about religious things because then I'm misrepresenting God and God hates me. Like, no, like, listen, we're all on a journey together. If we can have that attitude, I think the world would be a better place. Our churches could be healthier. Our relationships could be deeper and more meaningful. So thank you guys for being a part of that journey with me. I think it's pretty fun. I'm glad I get to share it with you guys, and yeah, it's awesome. So with that said, guys, we got about 20 minutes. Emily and I are going to be doing some family time with her brother, her nephews. We're going to let Ronan play with their dogs and all that kind of stuff. So we got some fun things heading for tonight. So I got to make sure that I'm ready for that. So our live stream will end on time. But with that said, we got about 20-ish minutes to hang out, to do some questions. I'd love some follow-up. If you have any questions specifically about our Halloween video or anything that's related to it, I would love to talk about that. Any other kinds of questions about the Bible or life or just how to get along with people who are disagreeable. Let's talk about that. Real quick announcements. Huge thank you to our patrons for sponsoring this episode and for just helping us out. I have this goal that I haven't really made an effort for yet, but we have about 71 patrons right now, 71 partners in ministry. I would absolutely love to get the channel patronage to 100 supporters, 100 teammates, 100 people supporting what we're doing. So if you've been considering becoming a patron and have just kind of put it off for a convenient time, I want to invite you to become a patron and just, honestly, if you could, that would be amazing. If you can't, I totally understand it. A friend of mine who also runs a ministry and does Patreon sent me a text message of someone who sent him a personal message saying, so-and-so, we appreciate your ministry. We wanted to let you know that we really value what we're doing and we want to support, and we've decided to cancel our Netflix subscription so that we could become a patron. And I thought that was just so cool that people were willing to sacrifice a little bit so that they could partner with him in ministry. I see Todd's asking, giving to Patreon, does that work? And so the way that Patreon works, Todd, let me put this link in the live chat. And in the event that any of you guys would like to support this ministry on Patreon, there's a website called patreon.com/thatchristianvlogger. It's in the live chat. And basically what happens is you sign up to become a partner with me in ministry. You can choose as little as $1. You can do $5, $10, $20 a month, whatever amount you would want to give per month. You sign up at patreon.com/thatchristianvlogger. And what happens is you put in your credit card information and automatically every single month, it'll deduct whatever amount you determine. And so it's a way to say, you know what, Justin, I support what you're doing. I love the vision. I love the ministry. And I want to help you create content like that in a very small, but very intentional and meaningful way. And it's just a way to kind of give back to the channel so that I can continue support making content like this. So patreon.com/thatchristianvlogger. Sign up there. You can do whatever amount that you'd like to do. And if you would do that, I would appreciate that. Again, I would like to it would be awesome to hit 100 if I could by the end of the year. That's I feel like it's an ambitious goal, but I feel like, it's something that people, if you've been blessed by the ministry, that'd be cool. If you could sacrifice one coffee a month and support $5 a month, that would be amazing. It goes a long way just to help support all the things that we're trying to do. Just literally today, I was at the camera store and spent another $80 on stuff to make the videos just a little bit better. On equipment that got some audio equipment stuff, and hopefully our produced videos are going to get a little bit better. So I got a cord, got some tripod related stuff, and if you want to help us make this kind of content, I'd appreciate that. Of course, I do want to make sure and be intentional to say if you are unable to or that you don't want to, that's totally cool. We'll try and continue to create content that is free, and that is a blessing. Again, I will send the link in the live chat. Patreon.com/thatchristianvlogger. Let me make sure I got that done correctly. Yep. All right. There it is in the link. It is also available in the description below. With that said, let's talk about this. Rachel, I see the first question. I watched your video and enjoyed it, but I'm not really sure where I stand, to be honest. Isn't the problem more how the world views a holiday instead of how we individually approach Halloween? God bless. in a certain respect, I think it does matter how the world approaches Halloween. It obviously carries connotation from what the world kind of currently interprets it as, but I'm talking about your personal practice. Obviously, I pinned a comment that I think is really important in relation to this subject. Let me pull up the window here. Let me pause this so it doesn't automatically start playing.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. On today's
I posted a comment that kind of summarizes what my major points are here. Okay. I don't know if y'all can read that. Okay, so I put here, point 1, if celebrating Halloween means to you any form of glorifying death and gore, it involves drugs, alcohol, promiscuity, mischief, vandalism, any kind of occult, supernaturalism, then I don't think that this is something that Christians should be participating in any day of the year. I think we're all on the same page as that, right? If it's having to do with glorifying evil and sin and supernaturalism, like I think that these are clearly anti-Christian sentiments, right? God clearly made it abundantly clear in the Bible that we shouldn't be attempting to contact the dead or, you know, glorifying sin or any of these different kinds of things. So if Halloween includes those components, then don't do it. 100%, no like ifs, ands, or buts about it. Second point was this. If, big if, celebrating Halloween simply means to you an innocent evening of hanging out with friends and family, enjoying fun and games, candy, and even some fun cosplay or dressing up in something that's completely devoid of the occult or supernaturalism, then I don't see an issue with quote-unquote celebrating Halloween. Now, a lot of churches do this, right? They call these things fall festivals, trunk or treats, or anything else like that. It doesn't matter what you call it. Like, that's just semantics. That's just the words that we use. At the end of the day, what does Halloween mean to you? That's actually that's what matters the most. And the third thing, last point that I think is worth noting is the most important thing isn't what other people tell you or even what I tell you in the video or anything else. The most important point is this. If God convicts you of anything, the imperative is that we as Christ followers, that we should live a life of obedience. So if God tells you to do something, you ought to do it. Roque Rojas makes a really great point. Yeah, we could celebrate Halloween on any other day and not even call it that. Absolutely. That's a great point. Let's say tomorrow, wait, what's today? Is tomorrow Halloween? No, tomorrow's not Halloween. Okay, so let's say tomorrow I hung out with a dozen of my friends. We all ate candy. We played a couple board games, and we decided to dress up just for fun. Is there anything evil about that? Obviously not. The fact that I do it tomorrow or next week or any other day of the year doesn't make that wrong. It's still just fine. However, if we decide to go out and get wasted, to join like some kind of orgy party, to glorify dead, to make sacrifices to Satan or something stupid like that, would that be wrong today? Yeah, of course. It's no more wrong on Halloween than any other day of the week. What matters is the thing that you're doing. So I really appreciate that clarification, Roque Rojas. Good stuff. CJ says, yeah, that doesn't sound like Halloween. That sounds like a normal Tuesday. JK, I don't dress up as characters anymore, but I totally rocked them when I was little. Exactly. That's my point. So I'm glad to see that you guys understand it. Do you believe that Jesus is Michael the Archangel? And if so, doesn't it make Jesus out to be a created being and not God in the flesh? So there is a perspective, I've heard this before, and I tend to agree with it, that Jesus is in fact Michael the Archangel. Does this mean that Jesus is created? No. And I understand why this is a problem. People would say, oh, if Jesus is Michael, then that means that Jesus is a created being, therefore how could Jesus be God? I get why that would be a problem if all of those things were true. No, angel doesn't only mean an angel doesn't only mean like angelic being. In fact, the Greek word for angelos or angel is simply the word for messenger. Is Jesus a messenger? Yeah, absolutely. Jesus clearly was a messenger, right? He came to this earth, incarnated in the flesh, and he was a messenger, right? Communicating the goodness of God. So on that note, it is possible for Jesus to be a messenger / angel, same thing, and still be fully God. Now, the question is Michael, in fact, a synonym for Jesus? There's a lot of debate on this. Some people say yes, some people say no. My understanding is, yeah, Jesus is, in fact, Michael, the archangel. There's some texts that you could bring up. I don't have these ones memorized because it's such an obscure point that people make. I remember doing some study. If you compare the characteristics of Michael the archangel to Jesus, there's a lot of similarities. At the end of the day, is this an important point for me to like really like build and die for? Like, no, obviously not. But my opinion is, yeah, that is in fact who Jesus is, or that is in fact who Michael is. It's totally up to you. Like, I don't think that's a super important point of theology. Anthony's asking, what type of microphone are you using, Justin? Can you use it to make music? You can use any microphone to make music. The question is it going to be great? This microphone is, I want to say, less than $100. So it's not like a super amazing and professional microphone. You could make music with it. There's certainly better microphones for that kind of stuff. The real question, could God become an angel if he wants to? I'm sure he could. I mean, God can pretty much do anything that doesn't defy the laws of logic, right? Or betray his character of love. God could do whatever he wanted. Could God manifest himself as a donkey? Sure. Could God manifest himself, or maybe a more realistic one, could God manifest himself as a dove? Yeah, we saw that in the baptism of Jesus, right? So could God become an angel if he wanted to? Sure, he could. Galactic Genesis, love that. The only thing I didn't agree with you in your video is that when I said the best candy is Reese's. Okay, enlighten me. What is the best candy? Share with me, guys, if you're watching this live, what is your favorite candy? For mine, it definitely is Reese's. Ooh, speaking of, we have Reese's peanut butter cups downstairs. Hey, Emily, are you here right now? Emily, I want a Reese's peanut butter cup. Put your favorite kind of candy. I'm gonna go get some Reese's peanut butter cups. Now you got me like stoked about it. Candy corn, you're crazy, dude. Alrighty, I got me some Reese's peanut butter cup minis. You got me excited about Reese's peanut butter cups. Let's see here. Wait, what did you guys say was your favorite candy? Butterfinger? Okay, Butterfingers are pretty good. Yeah, I would definitely agree. Candy corn is low tier for sure. Candy corn is like horrible. Candy corn isn't even bottom of the barrel. It's the barrel. It's under the barrel in the mud. Coffee crisps. Oh, I agree with that. Twix. Twix are okay. Gummy bears. I'm not a huge fan of gummy bears, to be honest. My brother does this really weird thing where he eats gummy bears in his ice cream, which makes no sense to me because the gummy bears become frozen. It just seems like a terrible experience. Skittles. Skittles are good. Sour Patch Kids. I can get behind Sour Patch Kids. Those are delicious. Blueberries and dark chocolate. Yeah, those are right. What? What did you get? I got some of the Reese's peanut butter cups. You want one? From that drawer you hide candy in. Guys, Emily has this problem. She buys candy and then she literally, like, without exaggeration, she literally will hide a bag of candy somewhere in the house because she doesn't want to share it because she's selfish. Okay, babe. Why do you hide the candy? I didn't hide the candy. That's such a lie. I didn't hide it out. On no less than a half a dozen times, I have found entire bags of candies that were like all the way completed that I had no clue existed. It might be because I do eat it all in one day, Darth Vader. Very true. Because I have very little self-control. I'm the kind of guy that buys a party bag full of chips, like those big ones, like on Costco size, and I'll eat it like all in one day, in like one sitting even. You go little by little every day, huh? We have kind of different habits when it comes to these kinds of things. When Emily gets snacks, she'll hoard them and eat it every single day. And like literally every day she'll have something sweet. For me, I hardly eat sweets, but when I do, I go hard. And I'll eat a lot of sweets in one sitting. And I won't eat sweets for like weeks. Sounds like the stomach ache waiting to happen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get stomach aches from sweets too often. Maybe a headaches every once in a while. Okay, this will be my last one. Promise. Maybe I don't promise, but I'm going to try to make that one my last one. Great question, Rachel. All right. Rachel says, so I'm like salivating really hard right now. Rachel says, do you think Halloween could be justifying or allowing gluttony? No shade intended. Haha. Yeah, totally. There was one comment that was really interesting. I mean, there were a lot of comments that were interesting in the video from yesterday. One of them in particular really stood out in that someone was pointing out the gluttony component, but not just about Halloween, but about the entire season from basically November to January, even a little bit beyond that, where statistically we see massive increases in people getting sick. Think about this. First, you got Halloween. You pig out on all this candy. Shortly after that, then you have Thanksgiving. You stuff your face with all kinds of food and desserts and pies. After Thanksgiving, then you got Christmas, and of course you're eating all kinds of chocolates and all kinds of, you know, other sugary drinks during Christmas. Then you got the New Year's. And you have a New Year's party, and you go hard on drinks and candy and stuff like that as well. Right after New Year's, then you have Valentine's Day, and then Valentine's Day really screws you up. So like in the span of just a short number of months, you have like 5-6 major holidays where in the US, like, we all pig out on like unhealthy food, soda, candy, all those different kinds of things. And as a result, like, we really end up sick and like really messed up. And so yeah, I think holidays really do end up actually promoting gluttony, especially Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is like literally a holiday where in the US it's like, how much food can you possibly eat? Like, that's more or less what Thanksgiving is for most people. So, yeah, I totally think it does. Do I celebrate Halloween personally? Not really. I don't think I've actually done anything unique for Halloween in the last, for sure, at least 12 years since I graduated from high school, which was 12 years ago. Goodness gracious. But even longer than that. So I want to say it's close to 15... at least 15 years, if not more, since the last time I've done anything special on Halloween. Most of the time, I just hang out with friends and just do absolutely whatever I would on a normal day. So no, I haven't really done anything on Halloween. Well, now I agree about the soda thing. You know what's interesting? I never drank soda as a child. In fact, when I was like in elementary school and they would have soda at like school parties and stuff like that, I never drank soda. And it wasn't until I was like in mid-high school that I started drinking ginger ale. That was the first soda that I really started loving. And now I don't really drink soda in my day-to-day life, but I drink soda whenever I'm on an airplane. And I've been on an airplane a lot over the last like 2 years. And so I've been drinking a lot of soda. So I got to get a handle on that again. I don't think that that's good for me, but yeah. Dark chocolate versus milk chocolate? That seems like a stupid question. Of course, milk chocolate. I don't understand how anyone actually enjoys dark chocolate. Like, I get why you can enjoy dark chocolate for like the psychological health benefits and all that kind of stuff, but no way is dark chocolate better tasting than milk chocolate. No way. Galactic Genesis, great point. I definitely think we should go out during Halloween. It's a great day to evangelize your friends at parties. Yeah, so that's a kind of a thing that I've actually done. So maybe that's what I've done for celebrating Halloween. You know, Halloween is the one night in the year where everyone in the US is happy when you knock on their door. And so I used to go out with friends every Halloween for like a couple of years. And on Halloween evening, we'd go out and we'd get like gospel tracts and we'd go knocking on doors. And rather than saying trick or treat, we'd say trick or truth. And instead of taking candy, we'd give them like a tract or a book or something like that. So we used to do that a lot simply because on Halloween, people were happy when you knocked on their door and they were happy to get free stuff. So yeah, I think that's a really good alternative. Todd says, since I live alone during the winter months, I don't celebrate Christmas, no trees, lights, etc. I love it. Nothing to put up and not freezing, taking down the lights. Hey, that's one way around it, man. For sure. Oh, man. Emily's cooking something or baking something. What are you making, babe? What are you making? Oh, it smells so good. Emily's making pumpkin cookies. Now, remember what I said about sweets? I don't really care for sweets too often, but here's the thing. I actually really like Emily's cookies. When we first got married, Emily would make cookies all like me. How often did you make cookies, do you think? Like every other week? Maybe every other week. And in that first year of marriage, probably because of cookies and also because of the amount of rice I ate and the lack of exercise, I think I gained like 20 pounds in a year, which is a lot for me. And so she hasn't made cookies in a long time. But these ones smell really good, guys. I might have to have some of these later. Hey, question. How is the live stream going right now? Because I have the Ethernet cord and it looks good on my end. Has anyone experienced lag other than Darth Vader? He's saying that the chat is laggy, but usually I get like this nasty buffering. Is it good right now? Pumpkin is an evil squash, perhaps even pagan. I love it. I always tease Emily about pumpkins, how I hate pumpkins. Roque says, I'm handing out glow tracks on Halloween. That's awesome. Very cool, dude. It's not buffering now? Good. Glad to hear it. Oh, look at that. Hey, I'm like 3 minutes over. Did she make enough cookies for everyone? She did make enough cookies for our family. I mentioned how we're going to go hang out with her brother and nephews and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that's why. I'm assuming she's not making the cookies for me. What'd you say, babe? Oh, he's not going to be there? Why? Oh, apparently her brother's not going to be there. So it's just Amanda and the kids? Yeah. Oh, that still sounds like fun. What? Yeah. So her sister-in-law babysits, or not babysits, has 3 young boys. And they can be handfuls at a time. So we're going over to hang out with them to give her a little bit of relief. Yeah, I'm ready to go. All right, guys, that's the bell. Time to go. Gotta spend some time with family. I hope you guys all have a great evening and a great weekend. I know that we're doing church tomorrow as a family. Is the party thing tomorrow for your dad or Sunday? Emily, what day is your dad's party? Oh, Sunday. Okay. So there's a decent chance we'll still be able to do a live stream tomorrow, God willing. But most likely on Sunday we won't because it's a birthday party for her dad. So obviously, whoa, excuse me. So obviously we got to hang out with the family and all that kind of good stuff. Anyways, good to see all y'all. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Get some rest. Spend some time with family. Do something positive with your life. Don't just sleep and waste away the entire weekend. Do something good. Serve somebody else. Give something to someone who can't give it back. And I don't mean give money. Give your time. Give your energy. Give your mental attention to someone. Make the world a better place in some way, shape, or form. Of course, if you haven't seen our video yet on Halloween, would love your guys' thoughts on it. I'll put that in the live chat in case you have nothing to do right now and you want to watch a video and you haven't seen our Halloween video yet. Head on over to the link in the live chat. Watch that video. Give it a like. Share it with a friend. Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys soon. You guys have a great weekend. God bless. Love you all. Of course, we got our mods hanging out. If you got any questions or prayer requests, they're hanging out. Say the tagline. Say the tagline. All right, until next time, I'm that Christian vlogger, and I want to encourage you to experience faith in the first person. God bless.